You're watching the She CEO podcast with Dr. Julie Ducharme, talking with female CEOs from all over the globe.
Hi, I'm Dr. Julie Ducharme, back for another episode of She CEO Talks. Love doing this podcast. I get to talk to women around the world from every industry on what they're doing, how they're making a difference, and some of the best tips you can get to help you grow in all different aspects. Before I get too far into this podcast, I want to make sure to take a moment to give you all a few announcements as well as thanking our sponsors. So, as events are coming up, She Talks has grown globally. So, if you haven't realized that, we are now in Canada, Australia, Ireland, UK, across the US, Zimbabwe, and we're adding locations every month. So we're really excited about this. So She Talks Sydney, Australia is happening. We opened up in Australia a year ago and we are so excited for our first event. It is a powerhouse of speakers. You need to go to that website and look at these women. They are amazing. So we still have room and tickets. If you want to attend, you can go there to leadandempowerher.com, click on events, and then find the event you're looking for. And also, this is the first time that at every event over the next 6 months, we will have a different youth ambassador there. So we have Abby Ducharme, who's our youth ambassador from San Diego here. We have Kira, who's a youth ambassador from Australia. We have Ava coming in from Montana. And we have Avery, who is also an ambassador here in California. So we're really excited to even be integrating in our youth into this. The other event that's going to be coming up right after Australia is She Talks San Diego. That is our annual event we've done for 8 years in a row, our third year in Coronado on the beautiful Coronado Island. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous there, right on the water. We have another powerhouse group of speakers coming in for this that I'm so excited about. And this has an international flavor to it. Why? Because it's International Women's Month. And so we have this amazing panel with Joy, Leanne, Monica. Leanne's from Latvia, Joy is from Thailand, Monica, Croatia, and we'll be adding a few other women. So we'll have a really powerful opportunity to connect with women and see their views from around the world. Still room to get some tickets there, but they are going fast. So if you want to grab those, same thing again, go to leadandempowerher.com, click on events. Now I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. We have some really powerful sponsors coming in. I love supporting small businesses. And so Gabriela Cambande is a purse designer of high-end purses. She is here in San Diego. Of course, you can get her purses anywhere around the world by ordering them through her site. She will actually have a booth at our event, which I am so excited. I've already told her I'm going to be buying purses there from her. So make sure to check her out. You can find her collection on Instagram, Gabriela Cambande. Next is Keka Usana. And basically, this is a lipstick line. Monica Walls is the CEO. She has a fantastic story as well from going from corporate to starting her lipstick company. She's going to be there. She's donating lipstick. We are so excited about this. If you attend the event, you'll get yours. But if not, you can go on, same thing, to Instagram, purchase your lipstick there, support a small women-owned business. And she's got a fantastic line. Finally, I also want to thank one of our newest sponsors, Chrysaline. She is located in Colorado and she does different types of photography, in particular boudoir photography. And so she's going to be showing up to some of our events and just donating some of her time to support, especially our women veterans. And she's going to be in Ireland as well. So we really want to say thank you to her for supporting our women veterans, offering to do headshots for them, and also her boudoir photography, which is really interesting. So thank you so much for being a sponsor of the show, as well as willing to attend events and support. So let's get into it. Today, I'm so excited. We're going to have Starla on our show. And let me just, before I preface this, is that I did a photo shoot with Starla. I think it's been a year. Maybe it's been a little longer. But it was one of the most powerful experiences, really, of my life. I've taken pictures before, but nothing like this, where Starla really captured, I think, my heart and soul and what I do. And it was just such an incredible experience to feel like really a Hollywood star for the day, with the way that I was treated and just the power of that. And even when the pictures came out, there wasn't even a lot of touch up to do. Like, I was shocked. I was like, these are really good pictures. So, Starla, she is a gifted visionary behind the lens, working her magic to produce images of the highest caliber. And as one of the most highly sought after Los Angeles based portrait and advertising photographers, Starla has worked with some of the biggest names in the world. A brief scan through her portfolio reveals stunning portraits of celebrity icons like Morgan Freeman, Ben Affleck, Jane Lynch, Snoop Dogg, Tom Hanks, and so much more. You definitely should check out her website. Starla, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me today, Julie. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I rave about you to everyone because, I got into Success Magazine because of your pictures. They literally saw
Oh,
the pictures you took and then they messaged me and said, "Tell us your story." And that was a real powerful learning lesson for me of how important it is that we really truly look as women, especially at who we are and what our brand is, and we don't hide from the camera. And, I think because the way culture is and the way that women
mhm.
always look on TV or on billboards is that if we don't fit that look, we don't deserve to be on camera. At least that
Mm,
was a perspective that I had for a long time.
yeah.
And so you really shifted my perspective on that. And before we get too deep into that, though, I do want to go back and talk about how in the world did you get into photography? How did you end up getting to photograph someone like Morgan Freeman and then obviously all those others? Because I think this is a really interesting aspect of you and getting into this industry.
Oh, thanks, Julie. Well, I'm glad you felt like a star. That's the most important thing in a photo shoot. Whoever you shoot with, I do feel like you need to be seen and feel beautiful. Everybody wants a great photo. It's simple as that. I've been making pictures my whole entire life. I started with coloring books. Coloring books led me to, painting courses and private lessons. And I started doing photography in the Army because the Army didn't pay very much. So I started doing photography to do original paintings and just fell in love with photography more than painting. I was way better at it. But painting taught me composition, and I
Mm,
love beauty. Beauty's always inspired me, so I'm really comfortable around. I love a face, and I can see the
mm,
beauty in every face. It's always been like that.
mm,
I think that's probably my biggest gift, to seeing the best in everyone. And a lot of people don't see that themselves. So one thing led to another. I moved to Los Angeles. I started working with a very famous photographer. I didn't even know who he was. A friend of mine introduced me, and she had modeled for him back in the day. And I camped out on his doorstep because I needed to work. I was new to LA, and I started working for him. And he had the light that I wanted, that nobody in any school, any course would teach me, which was beauty light. I think they're probably teaching it now, but back when I was in school, when I went back to school for photography, it was more about journalism, photojournalism, shooting, product. There really wasn't about beauty photography. How to light a face in the most beautiful way. Like my Bibles were Vogue and Interview magazine and W magazine and fashion. So those are the types of work that and editorial that I always loved. So I had I was working in Harry's studio, and he had a job offer to shoot an event for Maserati. And he says, "I don't shoot events. Let me give that to my assistant, my studio manager." So I said, "I'll do it." So I went, I shot this event for Maserati. They were just introducing the Maserati into Pasadena for the first time. And I met the president of Maserati. I shot him. And then I met some people in Angelino magazine, and they saw my work and they hired me to shoot for them. So I shot for them, and one thing led to another. Before you know it, I'm shooting Four Seasons, new restaurant, media press kit, and Morgan Freeman's PR gal sees the full page spread in a magazine, and she sees that I can shoot portraits, and she also sees I can shoot food. And from there, I shot Morgan Freeman, and that's where my career was for celebrities was born. Is Morgan Freeman was doing a cookbook called Cooking with Cars, And he assembled a lot of his friends. They all had recipes they loved, and I photographed his celebrity friends. Halfway through the book, they lost their photographer and hired me. So halfway through the book, I joined in, and the rest was history. I just started shooting. Once you get your foot in the door, and you do good solid work, and have a good work ethic, which I do and I did. I was working for other magazines back when magazines were paying for photos, back when they were paying photographers to do editorial, which led to some advertising jobs, which I was paid. So that was it.
Yeah, I love that. You know, and while we're talking, Josh, who is behind the scenes, Josh, if you could pull up some of the pictures that Starla took of me, because I think it's great to show. Like, I just want to show it because I think that's great. But why he's doing that and finding those. Um, you know, I love that you talk about that. You know, you kind of like sat on this guy's doorstep, right? And that you were willing to kind of like go do whatever you needed to go. Is that showing right now, Josh? Okay, so Josh is showing a little bit of this. And the reason I want to show this is because, you know, Starla, I'm kind of fighting tooth and nail with women to get them to do this. What I'm dealing with at She Talks is that a lot of women, when I talk to them about putting time and effort and money into themselves and their brand and their look, you know, I get a lot of women go, well, I just need to lose 10 more pounds and then I can do it. Or I just don't like how I look right now. And my thing is like, listen, we're always going to want to lose 10 more pounds, right? That's the thought of it. And what I see, what you bring in, you know, when I look at your pictures and they're so powerful. And as you said, like that beauty look that you were talking about, it's so different than the average, you know, photography that's happening. And so I want to talk a bit about, you know, what is your belief on like why should women be doing this? You know, what's the power behind, you know, really seeing yourself and investing in that?
Thank you. I think it's an important question, Julie. I really do. And you know the importance of it because you've experienced how easy it is for you to get published now with the right imagery. Going back to the weight, um, my I've noticed even in my own self, you know, I went from a size 2 to a size 8. You know, some people are like, what? And it's a lot for, 5 pounds, 10 pounds on one woman is another woman's 30 pounds, depending on her frame. So I understand that the first part of it is that women don't feel comfortable in their clothes anymore.
Mhm.
And they're shoving themselves in their clothes, which is not an esteemable act of the soul, shoving yourself in clothes that no longer fit. I think it's really important. Number one, if you're standing in front of the closet for more than 5 minutes and you're stressing, you're having a wardrobe meltdown, you need some help with your wardrobe. And it's my belief, my own belief, and you can take it or leave it. I think we need to dress the body gently where we're at and feel beautiful where we're at. And I was my own guinea pig. I had put on some extra weight, even more than I'd usually done. I had a photo shoot due with some brand strategists I was working with. And I said, you know what, I'm going to have my stylist help me. So I hired my stylist and we shopped my closet first. And then we went shopping because I needed to pick up a piece or two. And I felt great on that shoot because I dressed my body and it gave me so much more body acceptance exactly where I'm at. So that's one. Having your wardrobe together and getting help. Somehow women feel that if they need to get help with their wardrobe, there's something wrong with them. They don't have style. And as women, we're changelings. We change. I don't think it's fair, but it's true. And life isn't fair. We change. Our bodies change. We change as human beings. We evolve and our bodies evolve. So we need to meet ourselves where we're at as gently as possible. Be kind to ourselves, like we would treat a girlfriend if she had gained weight. So that's them. And then number two, you had addressed celebrities, like you see these women and these men who look fantastic. There's a team of 20 people behind them. I've worked with some of the biggest celebrities in the world, and I will say that there's a team. There's if there's a behind the scenes video of me and Morgan Freeman on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, Starla for LA. And you can see that there's myself, there's my two assistants, Morgan and a horse. And then in the background, you can see like 15 people that all work with him. There's his stylist. We had a makeup artist, hair person. The stylist had her assistant, the PR person. They have a wall of people. So what I do during my shoots, I provide a similar but scaled down team for people. Like I have makeup. I usually recommend that people have their hair done at their regular salon or go to a dry bar so they look like themselves. If you're doing a brand shoot, you don't want to have your hair done. Your brand is your brand. So you want to look like you. And your makeup will look like you too. The makeup that we do it's called clean beauty. And we pop the eyes, even up the skin tones, and just bump up your lip color just a little bit. But you look really beautiful. It takes about an hour to do it. It takes an hour to look natural. But and they zhuzh up the hair a little bit, give you a little thing here, and I have this beautiful light that it's editorial, magazine lighting, fashion lighting. And that also depends on the person I'm working with. I always meet everybody. We go over wardrobe, we go over makeup, we talk about hair, and then I look at them, and as they're speaking to me, I decide what kind of lighting I should sculpt their face with and their body with this lighting. Photography translated it's defined as painting with light. So that's what we do. We paint with light. And your husband does the same thing. He paints with light. You can be outside and we see light like other people don't. We just see how it falls on the face, falls on the body. But everybody needs a team. And the reason why you want that is because when you put your photos on your website, your social media, those visual media that you're putting out there, that really needs to be branded. It needs to be you, your best you. People need to trust you. If they're going to invest in you, I mean, if we're not investing in ourselves, who is going to want to invest in our businesses?
Absolutely.
If you want to look dowdy and shove yourself into a pair of pants and do your own makeup and just show up and think the photographer is going to handle that. It's not. Your photo shoot is a 3-part process. It's the preparation, getting ready for the shoot. Takes a little bit of time, like we're doing with our group day that we're doing on March 5 in San Diego. And just like you did, we talked about your wardrobe. Remember, what your favorite colors, what do you feel beautiful in? Let's just start there. And then, I'll ask them to send me pictures. And I would say 80% of the time I recommend a stylist. And there's too many people out there calling themselves stylist. It's too many people calling themselves photographers. And a photographer, is somebody like a brand photographer is somebody that will always get the shot. Like everybody can take a great photo with an iPhone, and I love iPhones and I love doing video with iPhones, but it's not consistent. If you don't know technically how that shot happens, you can't recreate it. If you don't understand light, you can't recreate it. So you really need someone who understands the technical side of photography. Photography, when you're working with the lighting and everything, it's really technical. And then that becomes second nature. But you want a team, you want your photographer to be able to give you referrals. And you also want to see their work. If you don't love their work, you really can't hire them either. My next article for She Talks is just about finding the right brand photographer. So, I mean, does that help? Does that answer the question a little bit? Like, why not? How can people invest in you? How are you going to have that $100,000 offer if you're not going to invest in yourself?
Yeah, I love a couple things you said too about like dressing yourself gently. We have a lot of women who are in kind of close to midlife right now, and we're all talking about perimenopause and menopause and how it's messing with our body, and we don't feel comfortable in our 5 pounds, some people it's 30 pounds. And I think that's so important is that, someone I really love to listen to is Ashley Graham because she just has always loved her body where it's at. She doesn't care if she's half naked. She has 3 kids, the last 2 were twins, like she was talking about, she just embraces where her body is at, right? She's just popped out a couple kids and she's like, "Hey, I'm breastfeeding and my body is like it's crazy." And I admire that because she is beautiful. And really her body size, in my opinion, does not dictate her beauty because every time she takes a photo, and yes, she has a team behind her, and I've seen her in both completely not glammed and glammed up, and she's beautiful in that body shape, and I think it's so important as women for us to understand that, right? Especially like
Mm.
we're in our midlives and we're wishing we were 23, right? Like, oh God, I wish I had that body when I was 23, but we're not 23. So why not love this moment of your life and embrace it, right? Embrace the stretch marks, embrace the extra weight, embrace the wrinkles. And what I really love, Starla, is so when I go to events, and Josh made this big sign for me, like it's like it stands up like this tall, right? And it has one of my pictures of you that you did on me on it, right? So when I go to an event, they sit at the table, there's the big sign of me, and women come up and they go, "You actually look like you. Like I saw your picture, but like I didn't think you would look like this in person." And I always laugh because I'm like, how funny that is that they say that. But in the world of AI right now, which I have to
Mm.
say, I do not love that women are AIing themselves to look like they're 25 years old. And then you meet them and you're like, I, you don't even look like, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm like,
No, it's
people
not
are
good.
yeah, people are like, "Well, I'll just make myself look like this." And I love that when I did those pictures, people literally say, "Wow, you look exactly like I saw you," right? And so I'm always telling women like, "Listen, don't get rid of the wrinkles. It's fine. The wrinkles are fine. Like little wrinkles are fine. I have aspects of my body, of course, that I'm like, oh, I do not like it, right? But at the same time, my stretched out belly came from having 2 kids. So I can't be mad about that, right? My stretch marks came from I grew super fast when I was young but my height got me volleyball and basketball scholarships and professional opportunities. So my body is part of like all the wonderful things that I've experienced in life. And yeah, it's got some battle scars and some bruises, but I love that you say gently dress yourself. And you know what? The best thing is like I was talking to some women who are like, well, I'm just squeezing myself into this because I'm going to lose weight and I'm going to get back into this size. And I was like, why are you doing that to yourself? Just buy something that you feel comfortable in, because you're spending all day sucking it in, feeling uncomfortable. So I love that perspective. And I think as well, too, a lot of women do get taken advantage of by people who are not photographers, like you said, who are not really brand specialists. And just to reiterate, if I'm not gonna invest in myself, why would someone wanna hire me? If I'm gonna look like a very cheap version, who's gonna wanna spend $100,000 on my services? Now, they may be worth $100,000, but I think there's a balance because sometimes people go, "Well, I don't wanna be fake." I don't think looking your best is fake. I mean, that's just my
Yeah.
opinion,
I,
you
I
know?
agree. Yeah. I mean, look how you show up for your podcast. You look absolutely stunning. You're finished. And I think that when we're finished in our own unique brand, our own way, I think that people trust us and they think, they're put together. They're taking care of themselves. It's a psychological thing. And we're also a visual world. We
Mhm.
all look at
Yeah.
art. We all love beautiful things and everyone's beautiful in their right light. Everybody has something beautiful about them.
Yeah.
And that's really the key as well.
That I Yeah, I agree so much. And, I was also telling some people, right after I did photos with you, I grabbed like some keynotes right away. Once again, they noticed the photos first and reached out to me. Obviously, Success Magazine was another one. And then, of course, I've had just countless. I mean, I've had women go to my website and go, "Your website is like on fire. Like, what, who and what?" And I think one of the barriers that oftentimes people say to me is, "Oh, well, it's the money. It's the money." And I'm like, "Listen, when we did our stuff with you, we looked at the cost, my husband and I, and we both said, it is worth the risk in spending this amount of money because we need to invest in me. In fact, Josh was the one who said, you invest in everyone else, you need to invest in you. And so, I mean, my philosophy is not that I encourage people to go into debt, but listen, if you need to take the risk, and if it means swiping a credit card, right, and putting it on your credit card, I say you need to do it because it came back to me tenfold between articles, between all those things. And so, that's just kind of my philosophy. But as we're coming to the end of the podcast, I would love to just maybe have you kind of round up what are some, tips or ideas that you want to give to women who are like, I really want to up, I want to upgrade my brand. I want to look like those stars, but like what do I need to do to move in that direction?
Well, I think that there's some mindset work that needs to be done.
Mm.
And that's between you. I'm not a therapist. I'm a photographer, but there's a mindset that you have to work on. There's something that's holding you back from your success, from really creating this powerful visual presence. And if you go and you look at all of the main brands in the world, they all have great photography. They all have great portraits. And anybody, look at Oprah. She's classic. She always has. She has the best. She works with the best photographers in the world. And they invest and they know it's important to invest. So if you want to have that, if you want to step into, and elevate, you need to have elevated photography. You need to have elevated, your brand. You need to elevate visually because your photos will be working for you while you're sleeping. It's scary doing new things. I remember investing in my brand quite a bit of money when I did it too, and it was like I've never spent that kind of money before. And I thought, what, and it was the best, smartest thing I ever did was invest in
Yeah.
my own brand. Absolutely. But I would say there's a couple ways you can approach it. Like what I do is I do group days. I come to California. I'm doing that one with you on the 5th, December 5th, March 5. I'll be in San Diego. We have, I think, 3 spots left. I
Yeah.
do a group day. So instead of covering the whole shoot on your own, it's split between a very elevated shoot is split between 5 women. And the studio, the makeup, the production team, the preparation, everything is covered. All you have to do is figure out what outfit you want to wear and have an interview about your shot list and what you want to accomplish and show up. That's all you have to do. So there's
Yeah.
that. There's private shoots. There's half day, full days. I do content shoots. But I think that also keep your eye on She Talks magazine because I'm contributing and I'm really trying to blow up. I'm trying to prevent people from making really bad mistakes, hiring the wrong photographer. And also people are doing AI. I am doing AI, but the AI work that I'm doing which saves the client a ton of money, is I'm creating worlds. So what I'm going to be doing at the shoot as well, what I'm doing in all my shoots now, is I'm creating an AI avatar in a white backdrop. So we shoot for your AI avatar, so you can hand off your actual you, who you are, not some fake thing that you created that doesn't. I don't like them. I see them. They look good, but they look like they look
Yeah.
fake. And like you said, they don't look like you. But I'm creating worlds in the background. Like, let's say you want to walk on water, or you want to be in, roses, pink roses, or you want to be from the heavens, or you want to be in a different city. You want to be in a skyscraper in Dubai. You don't have to go to Dubai. We can do it right there in the white backdrop. So
That's
with AI, we don't even need a picture anymore because,
that's
as we all
cool.
know, right? AI
Yeah.
calls that. So
Yeah.
I would say invest in yourself. Maybe if it's really scary, start small, like on a group day, and get to know your brand, get to know that you are beautiful in the right light. Know that, and look around to see what really moves you. Listen for the, you know, Your body will tell you, when you like something, when something feels right, your body goes,
Yeah.
have you ever noticed that? It goes,
Yeah.
listen for that. And listen
Yeah.
for that in your closet. Keep an eye
Yeah.
on all that. What makes you feel good? Like, listen, it's okay. It's okay to change.
Yeah. And I think the confidence that comes from that, as you said, there are a lot of women who are absolutely terrified to go do these photo shoots. And I agree, there's a mindset shift that has to happen. And Josh knows I get nervous all the time for photo shoots. And people always think they're like, no, Julie, you would not get nervous. And I'm like, I do get nervous because you're putting yourself out there. It's a little bit of the raw
Yeah.
version of yourself. And you're hoping that it turns out good. You're hoping that you're looking the right way. And so I definitely think that's important. But yeah, I think if there's anything that, as you said, and I can just bring home as well, is that, that was a really big confidence shift for me when I did that. And so when you get someone like Success who says, hey, we want to do an article on you, I would have been nervous if I hadn't have had your pictures. Like I just sent over, I was like, you can use any of these and I'm so happy with them, right? Because I
Yeah.
felt that confidence there where, when you don't have that, like when we were dealing with when this, we're dealing with magazine and all the time. I mean, I'm dealing with professional athletes who are sending me selfies, like pixelated pictures, right? I mean, professional athletes. I'm dealing with high level people that I'm like, you don't have a picture, and it's because they won't go in and do that. It's not even a money issue. It's just that they don't want to do that. And of course, now we're having the issues of people sending AI versions of themselves in, which we don't want for the magazine. We're like, we want to show
Mm.
the authentic you, right? That's my whole brand, authentically you. So I love that you're saying all that. And there's such a power in this. And for any of those listening, Starla is going to be coming in, March 5th, and it's going to be a powerful shoot. I'm super excited about it. We have a few spots left. I know you have some other ones that are happening in other places. Are you able to mention those for anyone who may not be coming to this event, but might be able to connect with you for the other ones?
Thank you, Julie. I'm looking to do some shooting in Los Angeles the second week of March. And then I'll be back in Puerto Rico where I live full time. And then we are also looking to go to Paris to do some more shooting. And it's a different kind of shoot in Paris. We do lifestyles in late September. We're going. So there are wonderful opportunities to shoot in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is fabulous. I'm sure you saw the Super Bowl. I mean, there's a lot of hype about Puerto Rico right now, but Puerto Rico is a really beautiful island. And if you're tired of being cold and you're on the East Coast, it's wonderful. There's all kinds of specials. So I'm doing content shoots. I'm doing half day, full day, and group days. And if you're interested, just reach out and say hi. I'm on
Yeah.
Instagram, Starla Fortunato, or at Starla in LA. StarlaFortunato.com is my website. And
Yeah.
let's talk.
Yes. Well, I'm going to encourage everyone who's listening to us to take a risk and reach out and do that because I think it's powerful for your brand. I think it's a great mindset shift for you as a woman. And Starla does everyone. So let me just say this is not just for women, but obviously you all know that I do She Talks, and part of my mission vision is to empower women. And this is one way that I think we can do that. So if obviously reach out on all those, of course, you can always reach out to me and I'll connect you directly with Starla too. And I'm super excited about what we're going to do for this group shoot. I think it's going to be powerful and we're going to have a lot of fun. And I'm just excited about the women who are currently doing it. And I know we're going to have some other amazing women too. So thank you so much for being on the show, Starla, and just speaking honestly and frankly about how women can empower themselves on the visual side. I think this is always been an issue and will continue to be an issue because of the way that we culturally show women around the world. I'm seeing this in multiple countries, not just, in the United States. And so I think that we can make a shift too on showing the beauty of women across, all different cultures. So I love this so much. So as I always say when we end these podcasts, live, love, laugh, and always be your authentic self.
Thanks for watching the She CEO podcast. Don't forget to smash that bell icon and don't forget to like and subscribe.